Welcome to the jungle. Welcome back to another Askari Cast. My name is Rod Van Blake, author of Ancient Illumination series as well as Yombani Chronicles, and I am joined once again by Jocelyn Short.
Hello.
She is a concept artist and illustrator, creator of a series called Bearers. She does lots of cool concept art, cover work, and all types of cool things. There will be a link to her website when we get this episode up on Spotify. And I'm also joined by JP Jackson.
Hey, everybody.
JP Jackson is an artist, writer, and illustrator. He is the creator of Eve of Insurrection, Eve of Reclamation comic series, as well as Growing in the Garden, a STEM educational comic book that's out now. He is also the illustrator on the Ancient Illumination graphic novels, as well as the Yombani Chronicles comics. Likewise, with his stuff and my stuff, there will be a link to our personal websites if you are interested at all in our creative endeavors. Today, we are talking about Welcome to Derry, specifically episodes 1 and 2. So, spoiler alert, if you have not watched that far yet, it's streaming now on HBO Max, but who knows how long that's going to be around.
Because of Netflix.
Yeah, because Netflix and Warner Brothers deal goes through, who
Yeah.
knows what IPs will be where, streaming where.
Do you think it's going to go through? Do you think Netflix is going to own Warner Brothers? It's going to be it? This is it?
You're going to try and block it like they tried to block Microsoft?
Oh, goodness.
I mean, we could be in for that, but I think it'll go through. My worry is that I don't want my Netflix going up. Or my HBO Max going up, or them dissolving one and then just merging it into
the merger.
But if they do that and the price increases, I'll understand that. But I'm not paying for both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gotta give me that bundle.
Yeah. So any Pennywise and It fans, Welcome to Derry is a prequel series on HBO, prequel to the It film. Very well done. How do y'all feel about these period pieces, and why does it mesh so well with horror? When I'm thinking about comparatively Stranger Things, which happens in like the mid 80s, horror mix. This is like the 1950s or something like that in the small town in Maine. Sinners was also done in history, historical. It's like period pieces while layering horror into it. What do we think?
I would like to think it is media. I think it's a part of like general media right now, showing how the events of the past have led us to where we are today by showing the horror of what has come before. Like the monster. Like what, how scary those times actually were. Like what, because a lot of it, the horror, the creatures, the monsters, all of that stuff, they're grounding it in real world experiences of that time. And so I think it is a way, a part of it is, in my opinion, a way to sort of educate or just highlight, maybe not even educate, but highlight, you know how we got here today to where we came from before. Like this is what was going on actually. Even though there's fantasy elements that we're creating a story, there's something very real here that happened, and here's how it leads up to the events of today.
Yeah.
To add on to that, I agree a lot with what Jocelyn saying. Like, I feel like there's this. There also is this like natural curiosity with like just looking to the past, and kind of recontextualizing things. But I also think from like a more like you can also look at it from a very like superficial lens of like it's an easy way to kind of create a new like I don't want to say subgenre, but like it adds like a face swap to it. So it's not just like a normal like we're just looking at contemporary horror movie. It's now we have these other layers of like nuance to it that make it feel refreshing and new.
Yeah.
Which is why I think like Sinners did pretty well because it's like we're also looking at a story that was like written and created by a black person by Ryan Coogler. So like we have a different context or vision So it's like really cool to see that.
Yeah, I think it's also kind of a nostalgia bait. I think you cast a wider net, sort of, because
Mhm.
obviously I'm old, but I'm not old enough to have been around when these things were going on. But I have parents and grandparents and that, and so people know of these times and these things and things. With Stranger Things, I grew up as an '80s kid, so I'm sure there are people that see stuff from Welcome to Derry. It's a small town in Maine. Uh, the kind of the dress of everybody, the cars and the technology that was there. I'm sure if an older person that witnessed that in real life may be sort of drawn, so you cast a larger net with your viewers, I think, because you have people that are experienced or at least know of those time periods. Also happens to like science fiction or horror, and then you get that mix of like that blend of things that a wide variety of people kind of enjoy. I like this show so far. They did not hold back at all with the kids. I had a friend of mine, Lorenzo, who watches
Mhm.
the show, and they was like, "F them kids." And I'm like, "What you mean?" He's like, "You'll see."
We gonna find out what
Yeah,
happens.
this had a real
Mhm.
a shout out to Gaming Cod 66. Appreciate you peeping us out. Um, but yeah, they are not holding back. We're going to Derry with this weird uh little boy that just can't seem to fit in. He's trying to sneak into the movie theater to watch little movies. Young black girl knows he's there, but she ain't no snitch, so she lets him ride. And you got that one. I guess he's the manager or whatever who's checking out who's in the theater, who's not. Peeps, my man. Why don't boy have a pacifier? Why does this kid Matt? He's sitting there with his pacifier behind this lady. We got kids. Back in them days, they would call that necking. When you kind of making out of the theater, they're necking, and there's little younger white kids in there in the theater behind this older white woman. And I thought he was chewing gum at first, and you see he's actually sucking the pacifier, and that was kind of weird. And it starts
You can
making noise.
also notice that he has like a lot of bruises on his face.
Yeah,
That's something we do notice. So he's like, it's clear that he's running from
something.
something or he's
Yeah.
hiding from someone.
Yeah, probably an abusive family or abusive older brother. Somebody's messing with him. He's in the theater. He's just trying to escape for a couple hours and sneak in a free movie, I guess. He runs away, ends up hitchhiking outside. It's a black owned. It's also a black owned theater in Derry in the '50s in Maine. They own the theater. Brother owns it. His young daughter and the grandma we meet in episode 2 is there in the household, and they're running a little theater. That was pretty cool. Um, this show to me doesn't shy away from that dynamic. Where I don't think we get it as much in Stranger Things. In contrast, you got Lucas and his little sister and his family. They seem to be like the only black family there in Hawkins, and that's not really touched upon, discussed. You don't, at least from what I've watched, I haven't seen any of that. Here, it's immediate. Like, you also have the Air Force major who ends up going to the Air Force base there in Derry. And when he walks in to address his unit formally, the one dude Masters refuses to salute or even acknowledge him when he comes in. And so that's an issue that the general has to kind of uh, take care. So they didn't shy away from the issues of the time. They didn't gloss it over. In mixed with that, and it's not a distraction, but it's part of it. It's part of the tapestry of the story that's going on here, and I do like that. There's horror, and Jocelyn, you good?
Yeah, my internet
Is acting up?
yeah, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
it's all good.
It's okay. The Wi-Fi playing games. It's not you.
Yeah,
Ugh.
they're playing
It's
games.
okay.
So yeah, you get this kid goes in the theater, then he hitchhikes after escaping being caught for stealing movie time, I guess, and winds up with the stereotypical nuclear family from back in the day. Because you got the mother,
Mhm.
father, and they done had 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and everybody else passes them up on the road, and they pick him up. When they picked him up, I knew something was wrong. I don't know how y'all felt. I was like, that was a little too easy. Everybody else is like this little weird kid. They just kept. And to be fair, who wants to pick up some little kid on the street? I don't want to. I'm not picking up the little white kid on the side of the street if he's hitchhiking. I'm not.
We're not doing that.
No.
Hey, it was that time, wasn't it? I feel like that was that time period, right? At least that's what we see in media, where it was kind of like
Everybody's had their thumb out.
kids were hitchhiking. It was just like, what? That's wild.
I might call the police, be like, "Yo, there's a kid hitchhiking."
Yeah.
So he hops in the car with his family, and then the one kid keeps spelling everything out. The older sister's just being weird. And then I seen my girl dip in. She picked out a little Tupperware full of bloody liver and then dipped her fingers in the blood and sniffed it, and then reached over trying to make Maddie sniff it. And he's like, "Hey, you can pull me. I'm cool. You pull over right here.
Let me out. Come on, give him a lift."
And you see the wife is pregnant with something, and that was crazy as hell. That whole scene with giving birth to whatever that is in the car. So I'm thinking he entered another dimension once he got into that car.
All right.
That's an interesting theory.
That's what. So like this is why like this was like a lot of like initial like confusion with like the first episode, or like just theories of like, we know that like Pennywise or it is like a shapeshifter and becomes the things, but then like becomes a specific thing. But like it's when he like does these like almost genjutsus where he's just like creating like hallucinations or a whole entire experience. It's like, how are you doing this, bro? Like he just raised the stakes. But I'm like, that was for sure some type of like hallucination, or like not hallucination, some thing that he physically manifested to capture a Maddie. For sure. That was for sure that they were all extensions of those people in that car were extension of it, for sure.
Yeah.
And it seems to be like he takes over he shapeshifts into people he's already killed. At least I get that from the second episode. We'll get to that in a bit. But he hops in the car and notices that they're like, he sees a sign, "Welcome to Derry." I said, "I thought we were going to Portland."
That's the same sign.
We're heading right back to where we just came from. And that's when Maddie finally knows something's up, and they're acting weirder and weirder. Did the little boy go cockeyed in the back when he was spelling stuff?
Yeah.
Yes, he did the Bill Skarsgård, the Bill Skarsgård it thing, where his eyes go.
I went rogue.
Yeah, but I went rogue. Thank you. I love that.
The car. She has that crazy bat baby thing in the car, pokes through her drawers and everything. That was so nasty.
I'm like, oh, gross. I was dying laughing where he thinks he's just gonna look out the window and try to just disappear all the way.
No, and then they just stopped. They just all stopped and looked at him.
Yeah. And that thing, then that puppy monkey baby, whatever the hell that thing is, just smacked him, and you see the bloody pacifier go flying.
Oh my gosh, that part was it was so like it just, when she birthed it and then it was going crazy in the car, but she's like wielding it by the umbilical cord and cackling.
It's so good.
Like it, it was amazing. It was amazing. Because I'm like, we're 10 minutes in, dog. We're 10 minutes in.
This is how we starting it all. This is what I came here for. Like I missed it. Made me miss watching the recent movies. And I was just really happy because I had to do more research. I'm like, who made these movies? And then I was like, oh, it's Andre Muschietti, the guy who directed The Flash. And I'm like, buddy, you gotta stay away from The Flash. I need him to stay away from Flash. Stick with horror. That's his bread and butter. The It movies are phenomenal. The TV series, this first episode is starting off great.
And then we pick up again after that. We pick up with Lily, and she's having some type of issue, and she ends up hearing a voice in the tub. Finger sticks up through
Lord have
See,
mercy. I just like I know they're kids, but I get stressed out when anybody in this situation. I'm like, what do you mean the tub is talking to you? What do you mean somebody from the drain
Who's talking to
is talking to you?
yeah,
Leave. Like get
you?
out the bathroom. Maybe throw light a match, throw it down the pipe, and
yeah,
go
Blow it
leave.
up. Blow it up.
yeah,
Get out. Like I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like there's other solutions. Don't get
Mm-hmm.
closer and like do not you a child.
yeah. Well, she kind of, I
Like
think she screams and freaks out, and then the mom comes in trying to see what's going on. She
but
goes,
that's after all that went down. I'm like, but
yeah,
she's hearing the tub talk to her.
yeah,
Mm.
Don't there's no investigation. Leave the bathroom.
yeah. And,
What are we
and
talking about?
well, you know what? Like the common thread is always hilarious. Like kids are just jerks. Like, because then we get to
Oh
meet
my
the other
gosh,
kids in the school,
bruh.
and she already went through a breakdown from losing her father,
Kids
Mm-hmm.
are
and
terrible.
kids are
Like,
being horrible to her. This one kiss up Marge, she just wants to be included. So, like, if we're
Oh.
associated, I'm gonna do what I do to get included. I need you to conform like me. And if you start talking that way, the patty cakes ain't gonna accept us. And I was so glad in episode 2 when she was like, such and such and such and such are dead. Who gives a dang about your patty cake?
right, like
Yeah.
Who
Who cares about
I've
the Mean
literally got
Girls?
bigger fish to fry
Yeah.
right now.
See,
Please.
they're going through with that
I'm a
now.
patio cake. All right, get
Yeah,
out of here.
patty,
You don't
patty
know.
upside your cakes. Get up out of here. So yeah, she's trying to, Marge is trying to be accepted, and Lily's just trying to hold it together. She's just trying to
Mm.
hold herself together, after losing Pops, and now knowing something's wrong, that they still haven't found the body of Maddie, and now you're hearing his voice in the drain in your bathtub. So you go to the one little secret spot that he took you to, when these other two knuckleheads, these other two kids, that apparently were. Because when they asked later on, if they asked if they were friends, the one kid said it's complicated.
Yo, they
Oh,
let Petty.
yeah,
That's
Yeah,
terrible.
we didn't show up on his birthday. They didn't show
yeah.
up on Maddie's birthday. Like y'all ignorant.
And they was being paid to show up on this.
That's
They
crazy.
still
Mm.
didn't show up.
He was like, candy doesn't count. It's payment. I'm like, a bribe is a bribe,
Yeah,
sir.
Mm. Sir.
that candy costed something. So yeah, they feel guilty because they didn't go to his birthday, and then he ends up missing. She's hearing voices and decides to look. I need to tell somebody, so I'm going to tell the two people I thought at least were close to him, and they're like, "Nah, we was cool, but we wasn't that cool. It's complicated." Then old boy's pissed. He's like, "Can't believe you gave her your soda." He was hot about that,
That little
and
boy is
yeah,
awful.
which one?
The boy who said that. I can't believe you gave her your soda.
Yeah, the one that was always thinking, but he does know something's up with the Air Force Base.
Oh, for sure. Okay, he definitely he got his tinfoil hat on for sure.
Yeah,
All right. Mm-hmm.
he was peeping out the C-130 transports coming in, dropping stuff off, and he was like, "Yo, something's going on out there that is not right. We got to look into this." And my man's like, he wants to do his comic books. He wants to do anything but listen to what old boy's saying. Same thing with his family. The other kid, I don't know what
Yeah.
his.
One of them is Phil. That's what
Yeah,
I do know.
yeah. That's not Hank. But yeah,
Also,
they're trying to piece stuff together, and then she gives him this story about, and then she's like, oh, I know someone who does know. She's like, the last time he was seen at the theater, so that's what brings them back to the theater, and then we meet again, Ronnie, in there, and she lets them in. This part tripped me out when Maddie showed up on screen at the at the movie.
oh yeah.
Oh.
You didn't see that? You didn't peep that?
No, I did. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna talk about I thought you were gonna get into the situation with the lamp.
No, that was after, wasn't it?
No, that was
No,
before.
that's the end. We
The
gotta
theater
wait
is
till we
at the
get there.
end.
The theater's the money shot here. We gotta get to the lamp first.
So the lamp happens after they have their initial conversation up on the on
Oh
the
yeah,
roof.
the father
Mhm.
talks about
Okay,
the
and then they
concentration
That's
camp,
funny too.
yeah, and
and
then
that
they
their
reconvene
skin
and
was
he's
used as
throwing up.
lamps. and my boy's trying to read his comic book in his room in peace, and the face starts turning.
Yeah,
Reminiscent.
when I first watched it, I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, this is funny. But then on a recent breakdown, it was interesting that they like this show kind of like uses like with Ted, that's Teddy, I think, with Teddy and his family being Jewish in the context of the Holocaust. And like that was like an actual thing that happened. Like there's an artifact of like a lampshade that was made out of like human skin.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I didn't doubt.
wow,
I wouldn't have. I wouldn't
wow,
have doubted that. Like
Yeah.
that
That was a
seems
known
like,
thing.
yeah,
like they wouldn't just say that. If
yeah,
they're like, you can already tell, like, if they're grounding the show in reality, they're gonna ground it wholly in
yeah, they
reality.
did. I was like, didn't
And that's
all right.
that's what I'm saying. That's part of the mix, the
Mhm.
contextual things of the time that would be on top of mind for somebody in the 1940s, 1950s, 1960s. That would still
Mhm.
be very much fresh in that family's mind. And the older brother was kind of hilarious when he little brother freaks out. He opens the door. He's like, I can't believe we're related, and that's all he says.
Can't believe
Walks
really,
out.
man.
Well, yeah, he done saw some stuff now, so he's freaked out, and they decide to all investigate as a team and go to the theater. And at first, Ronnie thinks they're just trying to frame her pop, so I can understand her being heated. Like, yo, get out of here! We told them everything we needed to tell them. Like, why are you here? And then when she said, "I heard something," Lily, in the last second she hears that, she's like, "What did you just say? What did you hear? What song was it?" And then turns out it's the song that he was singing was the song from the movie he had snuck in and watched. So they decided to go into the theater and watch. And kind of good thing, well, it really didn't matter that Pops wasn't there, but Pops wasn't there at the time when these kids watched the theater. And then Maddie shows up on the freaking screen, looking crazy. And Lily's like, "Oh, I came back for you." No, you didn't. He starts being accusatory, and now it's like, oh, the movie has had like this has become a VR experience. Like the movie's talking directly to me in the theater, and when that dang baby popped off screen and flew out, I was
It
like,
was so big. It
yeah,
was so big.
Bigger than what it was before. It grew.
Oh,
like get this demon puppy monkey baby thing up out of here with bat wings. He's just wreaking havoc and starts shredding them kids up. Phil gets mollywopped so quick and in midair.
oh my
And
god.
in
Yeah.
midair,
Oh
ripped
my
in half.
god, bruh.
Smacked up against the projector terminal's window. So Ronnie gets an eye full of Phil face
She
smacked
just
up.
watching it go down in 4K. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Mm.
Ugh.
And then his little sister gets it. She was annoying too. For when they were at the library talking, he was like, he sent her on some fruitless mission or some book that doesn't exist. He's like, I was waiting to come back to that moment. She was going to find some book title, whatever crazy title that he had given her. She like found it. And he's like, oh, we need time to talk. How did you find it so quick? It doesn't even exist. And evidently it does, but that never happened. But yeah, that was they killed the kids except for Lily, and she still has the poor little sister's hand on her hand, looks down and screams, and that's the end of that episode. I'm like, it's like, well, that's one way to open things up. And again, this had that kind of Game of Thronesian experience because we just met most of these kids, and you done killed 3-4 of them.
They made us like them and everything. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, bro, like they spent time with the kid, like with them, for us to really get to know them. Like, we know the little boy is traumatized because his dad is traumatized from the Holocaust. He's seeing skin lamps in his room. Okay, we got the boy. He got the conspiracy theories going on lock.
Yeah.
He's kind of a little butthead, but he's a kid. We care about him, kind of. You know.
Maddie's kind of weird, crack magazine looking little boy with a pacifier in his mouth. He got, like you said, he had a bruised eye, so somebody been messing with him.
We see
Uh,
he got some stuff going on.
yeah, nobody's trying to accept him. He tried to kiss Lily. She
And she's like, "Oh,
She's like, "Oh, I didn't mean it like that."
Uh,
But
he's like, no, it's
Hey,
okay. I didn't
I
mean to
didn't
do
mean it
anything
like
ever.
that.
This didn't
yeah,
happen at all. Don't worry
I
about
just
it. It's
I gotta
okay.
go. Yeah. He had to leave real quick, and that ended up causing his demise. So now she feels she's like, maybe if I'd have just kissed him, he'd
Uh,
still be here. And then the two
no.
boys, if he'd have gone to his birthday party,
No.
maybe he wouldn't have gone off on his own. He'll still be here. But yeah, they killed them kids like it wasn't nothing. And then we open up episode 2. I think it's like a dream sequence at first for Lily, where we kind of we see different perspective of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I knew that Philip got airborne and got shredded in the air, and then he got smacked to the side.
It was crazy. The different POVs was crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we kind of skipped over. We didn't see that they tried to jump my boy Major Hanlon in the Air Force Base.
Oh
Somebody
yeah,
called
we
Yeah.
him
gotta
in
get on
that
that. We
gas
gotta talk
man.
about the Air
Yeah.
Force
Got to
stuff.
talk about that.
Tried to beat him up and take the plane schematics. Which is ironic because we find out in the second episode he's not really there to fly. I was thinking maybe it was going to be part of it, but
Mhm.
we learned that part of the thing is he's got some injury to his meninges. I forget what they called it, but there was a term that he gave to his. There was a brain injury he got.
Amygdala.
Amygdala, yeah, amygdala. He got a brain injury, and now he has basically no fear. And they're looking for some artifact or something, some source of power or weapon that they're digging at in this Air Force base, but it has something around it that the closer you get to it, it trips your fear factor on, and it's enough to almost kill you where you stand. So they need somebody without fear to be able to get close to this thing, and supposedly that's going. This was a breach, like I don't know what. This is supposedly going to stop nuclear warfare somehow because it's going to stop the. We're still in the midst of the Cold War, and they're going to, they're Russia is putting weapons in Cuba, and if they got Cuba, then they can hit every major city in the U.S.
They said,
If
look, we
they
got
can.
2 magical Negroes.
Yeah, we got yeah. So we got the
We
Negro
got.
One
that
with
can
no
feel stuff.
fear, one that can see ghosts.
Yeah. Well, I saw the one I knew something was up with him, the driver, when he
Mhm.
wouldn't even acknowledge brother when they showed up on base.
Yeah.
Because you kind of look
You're like,
around, you
what's
get to
wrong with
someplace
you?
new, and you see another brother, and you maybe do a nod or you look something to kind of silently acknowledge when other people are around. And brother wasn't giving him none of that. Like he looked at him, and then he kind of like cut his eyes at the boy, like he didn't do it, but he could have just sucked his teeth. It would have been the same. The way they looked at he gave him, he was driving like, man, I ain't messing with you. So yeah, he apparently can feel things, and that's he's leading the search for this artifact that they're trying to dig up. But we don't know that yet. He thinks that they're trying to get some new airplane. He's going to fly some experimental airplane at this base, and that's not the case. Yeah, he got jumped, but they found. Actually, they didn't find anybody. Apparently, they found the weapons and stuff in Master's room.
Hmm.
So that was the proof that they were going off of. But they had 2 other culprits that they don't know are there, and we find out later that we find out later why
Yeah,
all this is coming up. That it was a test to test his
yeah.
fear.
They was testing them.
His ability to withstand his fear was crazy. But yeah, we start out in this episode with the ending murder scene, and Lily's having dreams about it, and we see later that uh, Ronnie doesn't have the same. She has a different dream, but it all seems to date. This is why I think it's that Pennywise may have killed the parents, and that's the reason why he can take the form of them, and then use that to kind of antagonize our protagonists here, the kids of Derry, because he done killed. Because in the grocery store later on in episode 2, he shows up in the pickle jars as Pops. They got caught in the gears.
I so I like that theory. I do wonder about it though, just
Yeah.
because I wonder if it's more that he is using people's subconscious, because I
Well,
think
that is.
okay,
You got
because
it. You're actually correct.
I'm thinking back to the second It movie
Hmm.
where was it Richie, I think, where he was antagonizing the grown up Richie, and he was talking about how he knows his secret, his dirty little secret about him being gay, and like that was his biggest fear, was being exposed as a gay person.
Mm.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, then where does I guess if it's subconscious, yeah, he would have access to that, because I was thinking, where's Ronnie's mom coming? Because pretty much it seems to be all people that they've had some sort of contact with the exception of the family that picks up Maddie in episode 1. I don't know where he got them from. That kind of was the beginning of my theory. These must have been a family that he'd already killed. So
Yeah, no, that I think, like I said, I think it's a fair theory, and I do wonder about that too, because I know you haven't gotten this far, and I won't spoil anything, but
okay.
I'm wondering like where those people like how those people connect to him,
Yeah.
or like what is Maddie's subconscious like, I can imagine just like that could be a subconscious fear if you're hitchhiking, you're at the whim of strangers.
Yeah.
Like that's
Put me in a
literally a
family
night
with a bunch of weird
that's
family.
a
Like that's
nightmare scenario. Like that's
yeah.
the absolute worst case scenario
Yeah.
possible. So,
So
that
yeah.
could have just been his fear at the time of just like, what if this goes left really badly?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't know.
And it's obviously all gonna go bad and left at some point, because that's to me the point of the show.
Mhm.
We got to get somebody, and y'all are the ones we were watching. So at some point, y'all gonna get got. They introduce Leroy Hanlon, Major Hanlon's family. We finally get to see his wife, Charlotte, and Will are introduced. And I was kind of worried about that. I was like, oh, we got a couple more to kill. No, stay out
The
of
more people, the more bodies.
yeah.
They're all gonna die. They're all gonna die.
And we see Marge is still standoffish with Lily at school, but she's kind of trying to open up to her, but that she knows something's wrong. And Lily's like, look, leave me alone. Do your thing with your little patty cakes. And like, why are you talking to Ronnie? And Grandma's now forcing the dad to send Ronnie back to school. He's like, I'm with Pops. Pops like, I'm not letting her leave my sight. We know it's not safe around here, no matter how it looks on the outside. He wants to keep Ronnie close to the vest to try and protect her. And Ronnie's also worried because the police and stuff are still acting around. The racial tension is up. The good old boy network is in full effect. We see that when the police chief gets approached in the bar you were mentioning. Like he says, "This is America. This ain't America. This is Derry." I was like, "Damn."
Oh yeah, this is Derry. Y'all go. Here y'all go. Hey, that's how it is. That's literally how it is.
Yeah, he's like, we can rig this up, and if you don't do what's right, basically, come election time, we'll make sure we'll put someone in office that will do the right thing. Everybody knows that man that chopped them people up. Them families need to grieve. We need justice.
We need to blame somebody.
Yeah, we need to blame somebody. We have no, and the chief's like, we ain't got no proof. He has an alibi, and there's no evidence. And so he ends up trying to coerce Lily into giving him up, and he's like, well, you swear, you're unequivocally sure that he was not there. And since I guess because they cut away and you don't see what she said, but I'm assuming the gist is, well, since you can't unequivocally say that he wasn't there, then there's evidence there. Since you can't say he wasn't, that he must have been. So we have probable cause then to go and arrest the theater owner and give an answer to the people that are restless and frustrated that we haven't caught anybody for this brutal murder of these kids. Number two, beyond that, they ain't even got the kids' bodies.
That's kind of frustrating.
Like they don't know what are you going to charge him with? They don't know.
That's what I'm saying. No, just being black. That's the sad part. Like this Lily is like, even as this like little white girl, she's kind of like protecting herself, and she's kind of like she doesn't want to go back to Juniper. She's like, I don't want y'all to send me back to Juniper Hill, and I was like, so I was just like, oh, she's gonna lie.
Was there I noticed more the second episode, the intro, the images in the intro. Did they have the same thing for the first episode? Because I don't recall that.
They change every episode.
Okay, I was like, am I tripping? Because I started seeing the graphics come in, and you do see
they
the
get
Juniper
darker
Hill.
every time.
Yeah. They're different. Okay. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm tripping. I was like, maybe I
You're
fell
not
asleep at the
tripping.
beginning of the first episode because I don't
It's
remember
real.
seeing this thing at all.
Pennywise is coming for us.
Yeah.
He coming.
Pennywise better choose a better target, man.
Okay. Talk it. You tell him. You tell him, Rod.
Yeah.
Boss.
We ain't like the niggas in the movie. Now, when you come over here, it's gonna be a little different.
Oh my God, the fact that you said that, I need you to remember you said that because when you get to what happens later in the series, I want you to remember what you said. I want you to remember that.
I know they're gonna get got. That's what they're there for.
That's what they're there for. It's been all done.
So I like the intro to Major Hanlon's family. I like that Will's a little nerd and he's a science geek and
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's so precious.
yeah,
amazing.
he calms Pops down. He was like, "Hey, we can use this telescope to spy on the neighbors." Mom was like, "That's not a good. Don't start peeking through windows with that telescope." And he's like, I'm sorry, that was a joke." And then she's finding out because remember he's standing outside the front yard with his wife, and that one lady, the white lady, walks by, and she was like,
Yeah.
she made a face, and she's like, "Good afternoon," and then she mobs off with her tongue, like, we can see where this is going. And then later on, she goes into town to go shopping and sees little crazy white boys beating up on each other in the streets, and nobody's doing nothing, just letting. And then the butcher man, he's like, "Boys will be boys." She's like, "Nah, ain't no boys will be boys. Boys need to be courageous and stand up and have integrity." And right, yeah. She's trying to teach Will, like, Will, don't you be running around beating people up for no reason. So, what do you guys think of this?
That entire I don't know, I really like this show. One of the kind of like strengths of it is like how they're dealing with kind of this particular like this black experience of America in like the 50s and 60s, and how you have a military family that's like, how they're capturing the like the racism and like even the microaggressions, the looks and stares as they kind of come into this town.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because like they are black, but they're also like outsiders. They literally like he's an Air Force person. He's not from here, but he's also black. So it's kind of like it's very interesting to see how Charlotte. I kind of loved how they kind of show Charlotte's like character and how like she's like intentionally quiet, like she's very observant, but you can tell she has this. She wants to affect change and help, but she kind of presents herself in a very like well mannered way.
She's very sure of herself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so like I kind of love that when we heard her kind of walk into Derry, because it's very eerie. It made me feel uncomfortable. Made me feel uncomfortable. How even the guy at the butcher shop was just like, boys will be boys.
Yeah.
And then even that like old white lady in the butcher shop, she's kind of side eyeing her. And that was really interesting. There was something that I found out in like a video breakdown about that scene, and like the scene where they show in the first episode where they show that billboard of Derry. They have two icons at the bottom of the billboard, like underneath the billboard. And apparently there's like a W, and it's like I guess it's a fictional like racist gang, like racist organization like the KKK. And then they have another one on the other side that's like called the Dames. What's called the Great Dames of Derry, which is what that woman references or says while in the store. Yeah, and I'm like,
Bunyan statue.
Yeah, and I'm like, ooh, and I'm like, wait, this is late, because that's another thing I was thinking about, is like you have these like in this small town that's most likely a sundown town, you have a like white male racist organization, and you have a white woman ran racist organization that is a sister organization to that organization. And I'm wondering, and And it's like just these like small things. I'm like, this is interesting. And I didn't know that in the first watch, but I learned a lot of like watching like breakdowns and stuff. But I think to see like how they captured that world, how they captured the world of Derry is very interesting. And to see Charlotte try to jump into action to save those boys was like very powerful.
And everybody looking at her crazy. Like,
Yeah, I'm
what
like,
are you doing?
oh, Lord.
Y'all just gonna let these boys beat this dude up in the middle of the street, broad daylight? What?
Crazy.
Yeah, it's got the. It is very eerie and almost too picture perfect. Just walking by, and it would take you to stop and kind of observe to notice the cracks in the veneer of Derry. And this is a very layered show, and I do like that. It gives things depth. The world is not sanitized, and the conflict is not just, the evil that is obviously living there in Derry. There's lots of other things going on that's kind of part of the miasma. There's something that doesn't smell right in the town is all interlinked, and it's going to be interesting to see how far they take it. Are all the episodes out already?
No,
Season finale comes out next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Episode 7 just came out yesterday.
Okay. Yeah. So we find out that the jumping. Oh, first we let not skip Ronnie. Ronnie got her mama came to visit her in the middle of the night when.
Oh, we gotta go.
We got to talk about.
We got to talk about that. That was true.
After Grandma and Pops was arguing whether she should go to school or not, and then she goes to sleep and decides to roll over and put the sheet over her head. Shouldn't have done that. She goes.
Shouldn't have tucked yourself in.
Yeah. She got to be reborn.
that was accurate. Very accurate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my gosh. I loved how that scare like kept getting worse. Like, it was bad enough for what it was initially.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, sorry. I'm laughing because I made a joke that Ronnie was in the Tyrese music video. That one where he's like under the covers, it's just sheets everywhere.
Yeah.
And then the sheets became a placenta, and then she couldn't breathe. And I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is gonna go left. But it was so well done. It was so creepy.
Yep. And then she was birthed out.
Yeah, birthed out. Gunk, just placenta, just discharge
all over her and blood.
Yeah. And then her dead mom.
You seen the umbilical cord was attached to her. She was getting pulled in.
Yelling at her, fussing at her. All right. And then it's the belly starts pulling her back in and eating.
Oh, yeah, the mouth.
The placenta chomping at the placenta, the umbilical cord to get her back. Yeah. And she has to like pull against it to stop herself from being re-eaten by her mother's belly.
Yeah. And them ashy black arms. Let me hold my baby.
That's what you noticed. He said, I know this ashy black arms. Yeah, terrifying. Terrifying.
Look at the mess she made.
And the eyes, you saw the golden eyes in the stomach too.
That's crazy.
Look at the mess you made.
Yo.
I'm wondering if she would have died had she just gone into the stomach. Because is this Freddy Krueger? Like you die in your dream, you die for real?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so because I feel like it's all Pennywise. So when he get to chomping,
she would have been gone. She would have been teleported into his mouth and layer somewhere else. Yeah.
Well, because we did, and he was there. We, like you said, we saw the glowing eyes in the tummy.
Yeah. Oh, it was so good. Oh man, when those eyes appeared, I was like, oh, there he is. He's there. He's there.
Yep.
So yeah, they had that little scene. She wakes up freaked out, and then she's immediately she wants to go to school.
Dad comes in the room
screaming bloody murder.
Yeah. Daddy's here. Daddy's here.
I would not go back to sleep ever again. Like,
yeah. Next day at school, she's on Lily's bumper. Like, hey, what did you say? They come and ask stuff again, and then she gets in trouble for saying bullshit. Isn't this you and I know that is bullshit. But she
Everybody
gets to
got
go
quiet.
to
Oh,
detention, and because she went to detention, that's what has her meet Will, because Will gets blamed for throwing the stink bomb in the hallway.
Mhm.
I guess Will must have known better, because like the politics around the lunchroom in schools, my boy had his lunch tray by his locker, just sitting in the hallway. Like, I ain't even gonna go through that. I just take my lunch over here, homie.
I ain't even doing this with y'all.
Yep.
And he gets in trouble anyway, because he's in the hallway when this kid comes out with this little stink bomb, runs into the teacher. Was that teacher the same lady that we saw the
Yeah.
grocery store?
Apparently,
Yeah.
when he was late to class, he tried to
Yeah.
check him. He brought up that theory of
Targeted
relativity.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, my man's is smart. Don't play with him. Don't play with
Yep.
me.
Don't play with the kid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, he ends up going to detention and meeting. So they have their meeting. So he's kind of part of the crew now, the unofficial crew, because we haven't seen them all together. But I'm assuming he's going to be rocking with them. I hope Will makes it. I have doubts, but you know what it is, man.
He said, I don't know about
Why do you
him.
have doubts? Let's let him speak. You have doubts?
Man,
Why do you think
bro,
he's gonna die? What episode you think he's gonna die on? Place your bets.
bro, because we always die. That's why.
I knew that's why he was gonna say that.
It's just par for the course, man. This is what happens. So
But he was talking about Stardust and and how we're made up of it, and
yeah,
he's so precious.
Well, I'm
yeah.
gonna tell you why. The theoretically, like, if you're paying attention to like the world and like the names of people, I already know nobody in the off rip. If I hear a Hanlon, there's most likely they're not dying because we see his descendants in the movie. Like we see
Okay.
the descendants. We see Mike, who is Will's son, in the later movies. We even see Leroy in the later movies as well. So we know these characters already are protected.
Some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them.
They may die later. I haven't read the books. I would like to read the books, but that's time.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah. So he and then we have this was a cool scene with when the major goes back to the base and he recognized, he's like, yo, what kind of weapon was that you found? Oh, it's a Russian. It's good. Yeah, it was that. You had a good eye. And he's like, man, can't nobody else. Not everybody can just break this weapon down and pull it out, cock it. It's a very finicky weapon. And so my boy just walks up in the homie's master's jail cell with the weapon. He's like, don't worry, it's not loaded. He's like, but this one is. He puts the clip. Boy was like, guard. He's like, he tried to kill the guy.
Help me.
Yeah.
Help, police. He's like, police, help.
This scene was one of my favorites. He's like, you leave my mama out of this. He's like, all right, I'll leave my mama out of it, but I can't promise I can leave me out your mom.
He said that. I said, ooh.
And tries to load it. Puts the magazine in. He's fidgeting around. He cannot get it. He's like, see, that's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
And so then he has to go to the general with his new evidence. Like, hey, he's a racist, but he is not the one that held this pistol to me. He's an innocent person. We got an innocent man in the stockade. And after that, the general has to fess up and be like, yeah, we know. But there are other reasons we could lock him up for. So it's par for the course. It's all good. But let me tell you what it really was. It was a test. We know about the injury, something I've never seen before, and that was just a test to see if it was true. And then my boy's like, I've heard enough. He's like, well, give me 10 more minutes and I'll explain to you what's going on. So he takes him, and we've been seeing this part of the Air Force base. They've been driving by it with these gates, and you don't have the clearance, obviously, to be on this, which would have me tripping on as a person who lived on a military base. I had a top secret security clearance when I was in. Mm-hmm. So if I'd have seen an area that they're like, you with your top secret clearance, you can't get into here, I'd have been like curious too, like,
Yeah, like, let me get on in there.
What the hell they got going on in there? So he finally gets to go in, and then we see the brother that was the driver that picked him and his partner up at first. The brother that said didn't even give him no indication of acknowledgement, just kind of cut his eyes at him, but he's in there. We saw them earlier at the bar getting drunk and come back on base. He got special privileges. No boy at the gate did not believe him. Yeah, right. Special privileges. And then he gives the name to the dude on the phone. He's like, oh yeah, lets him in. and he has a hangover the next day. We see these little areas that they're digging stuff up, and I guess he's helping the search. They're digging up something on this land. We also see in that scene what looks like, is that dude supposed to be like a Native American with the two motorcycles, the dude with the long hair?
Yes, he kind of looks like Taylor Lautner.
Yeah, he's peeping them out like he knows something's dirty's going on too. He's watching them dig up this stuff on this land. Maybe it's a ancient burial ground, and it's why this evil stuff is happening. It's because you messing with stuff you ain't supposed to be messing with. But yeah, the Majors let in on this secret part of the base, and then they see was the car being held up by something, or was it like floating?
It was floating. You'll float too.
Yeah,
I'm sure that thing was floating in space. I don't know. Weird stuff be happening in that Derry. That place called
weird
Derry.
X-Files scene pops in where this old car is floating, and we see skulls and bodies inside the car at the end of the episode, and I could recognize it. I think that was the car that Maddie was in.
Yep.
And the family that picked him up initially in episode 1. So now we have confirmation of Maddie's body, and that's my only theory of why I thought maybe that the images that we see Pennywise use are people that he's killed. So now those images are like in his repertoire.
That's what I was gonna say. Both
honestly,
of these things can exist. You'll see later, but I feel like Rod, you're there. You're not on something. You're on it. You're on part of it.
Yeah.
Like because like he does need he kind of needs like physical manifestations of certain people. So it like makes a lot of sense that like once we realized he had abducted those people, he in theory became the car and the people to kidnap Maddie. Like that's part of it too. But he is also a manifestation of one's fears.
Subconscious and whatnot.
Yeah.
Right.
It's weird talking. Sometimes I want to be low-key mad at Stephen King because this character seems mad OP. Like, so you become the manifestation. No, I love it too, but it's like, but also I feel like I have to go sit down and like fact check some things because I'm like, wait, so it's an alien. We learned this in the movies. Like, it's an alien. I thought he was a supernatural being until I watched the movie. I was like, oh, he's an alien. And then the fact that like he can manifest or he feeds off of people's fears. And I'm like, but what's the limit of this? And it's like he's making projections. He's transforming into beings. It's like, what can he not do? Like, come on.
I love the conversations where they compare Pennywise to Mary Poppins, like saying they exist in the same kind of universe.
Mm-hmm.
But Mary Poppins is fueled by the opposite thing that Pennywise is fueled by. Like she's fueled by like children's joy or whatever, and Pennywise is fueled by fear. Because she's like she comes from wherever she comes from, and she's this magical being, who makes stuff happen, and that kind of So it's interesting. I enjoy those comparisons. They're very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, well, thus far, this is a dope show. We'll be discussing episodes 3 and 4 next week. It's been cool. Appreciate you all taking the time out to discuss these things with me, and I love hearing your theories and us kind of spitballing things back and forth. I'm not sure if that's Gaming Cod 66 that's still with us. You're the lurkers. You commented. Appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to us chop it up about these things. Once again, the Askari Cast, when I put this episode up on Spotify, will have links to our personal websites if you are at all interested in our creative endeavors. Until next time, we'll talk to y'all next week with more Welcome to Derry.